Come down. Ooh, you make my high come down. Always tripping when you come around. Never have to cut you out like right now. You see, I don't have to drive me. You can say that for your mama. Maybe you should smoke some. Me try the marijuana. I was never you good. The vibe was straight. Showed you a couple of things and they feeling strange. I treated you right. Everything was a gift from a time to your bag and the color on your lip.
Welcome to the Seahawks Man to Man podcast powered by Blue Wire. Shout out to the new company. My name is Michael-Shawn and Christopher. You guys can follow me on whatever Elon Musk is calling that app these days. My at name has not changed. It's right there under my neck. For those who are watching on YouTube, at Mike Dugar, Mikedugar. Speaking of YouTube, shout out to everyone who's listening, watching via our YouTube channel. Seahawks Man to Man is the name of the channel. Seahawks Man, the number 2 man. Make sure you like, subscribe, review, do all the good stuff. Do the same thing on our Instagram, Seahawks Man to Man, and on TikTok. You guessed it, Seahawks Man to Man is the name of the handle. Thank you so much in advance. Chris, go ahead, talk to him.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christopher Kidd. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter at CKIDD206 and that's CKid206. Quick shout out to the TikTok followers. We just eclipsed 400 followers, so we appreciate all y'all following, watching the vids, giving commentary, disagreeing, yelling at us. It's all great stuff. We appreciate the love and support. And yeah.
All right. So as you guys can tell by my background, you guys know I do this when it's real late. I'm still at State Farm Stadium. It's almost midnight here. Seahawks beat the Cardinals, as they seemingly always do, it feels like, no matter who's the coach. 23-20 was the final. You guys saw it. Good game. Defense played good for like 95% of it. And then forgot how to track the ball. I'm joking a little bit. And then shout out to Sam and those boys being very clutch. I thought the fumble in week 1, I can see why Sam lost the ball there. I would like him to hold on to it. And I bring that up because we've now seen Sam and the offense in 2 gotta go have it situations. And I thought they've moved the ball just fine. And it really helps to have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like Chris, that's what stood out to me today. I saw Max Melton. Remember, he had a. We're gonna get you guys questions. There's a lot of them, but I just want to talk about Jackson real quick because I saw that Max Melton do what I believe is Bo Melton, Seahawk legend's brother. He had a PBU on Cooper Kupp, I think in the second quarter maybe, and that boy looked like he had just made the game-winning bat down in the Super Bowl. Like he was so hype. So hype. I'm sure they showed a slow-mo of that, because there was a million cameras today. And I was just like, damn, he got some dip on his chip today. And not even in a bad way, because I like DBs. I was like, boy, hopefully they don't think that he's like their Sherm or something, do they? I was really thinking all this in real time. So then when I see them playing just manned up with Max on Jax, it was like, oh, this is the most arrogant defense in the league. Who do you guys think he is? He's a good player too. He is. But I was like, yo, that was bold. That was not good. That was not a good idea. Like when Marvin Harrison was catching the ball on Spoon, that makes sense why you would trust Spoon against Marvin one-on-one in the slot. Like that makes sense. A 2-time Pro Bowler, cool. I was like, yo, number 16 on Jax with the game on the line, money on the floor. I was really just laughing in the press box. It was funny to hear the guys say the same thing. I asked Spoon about it, and Spoon was like, somebody must ain't watched no film, bro. Like, why would they do that? And I think on the broadcast, at least my editor told me that Sam on the desk with the guys was like, yeah, I was licking my chops, when they played man-to-man on Jax. So it's like, that's a wide receiver 1. Like, to the point where you can't leave him with that dude. You just can't. And that's really, I thought, was like the big difference in their late game offense. You know that they're going to be able to get the ball to Jax. Maybe teams are going to start doubling him, whatever, we'll see. But I thought number 11 was such a difference maker today. All the slow-mos of all his routes were great. Like, it was just great stuff. And last thing on this, before the game, this was on what day is it? It's Thursday. This was on Tuesday. I was talking to Jax at his locker. And I was like, for the last 2 years, you've called your quarterback in the offseason to go throw with him, like saying like, yo, you'll go fly to where he's at and go throw. I was like, why do you do that? Why is that so important to you? He was smiling. It's like, because he gets me the ball. He was just like, And he also said, I want my quarterback to know that he can trust me. I'm going to be open. Like, I'm going to do my part. And he can trust me to go spin that thing to me. I want him to know that early, And this was before the game. It was a couple days ago. And that was just replaying in my head, that conversation watching. I was like, yeah, Sam already knows 11's open. And he is all the time. That was good ball. That was good ball today.
And I thought for the most part, the Cardinals did a good job because in the first half, he was blanketed. They were I have to watch the tape to see exactly what they were doing, but they were covering him really well, and Sam was having to go elsewhere, right? And then when it mattered most, he just was open. He only had 4 catches for 79 yards. He didn't have the volume that he's been having throughout the first couple games, but when they needed him, they dialed up number 11, and he came through. And shout out to Ryan, one of our listeners that always asks questions. He came up with a new nickname for JSN, and it's him, but instead of HIM, it's H11M, which I thought was pretty fire. And he was like, throw that on a
ooh, on some merch, on some hoodies.
Yes.
Oh, damn, that is tough.
So shout out to Ryan for he said, just show me some love, man. I said, hey, I got you. So
that's tough.
Very tough. Him 11M. So
boy, yeah, that's hard.
That's hard.
That's what he looks like out there, man. You see them slow-mos? You was watching the game. You see them slow-mos of them routes on the double move?
That double move was disgusting, man. And then that's all you need is a little separation. And someone asked a question about Sam, and we'll get to that. He is throwing the ball really well.
Boy.
Like, for instance, like I said, we'll talk about it, but one of my favorite throws outside of his clutch one to JSN was the one to Arroyo coming across the middle. He lays it in the corner of the end zone.
That's the best ball tonight, bro.
And Buda Baker, he did the right thing. He PI'd. He had to, because that was about to be 6. Sam put that on the money. Like, I know you're big on gambling and making a little money here and there when you can. Boy, he nailed that parlay. Okay, he hit everything he needed to and delivered a strike. It's just unfortunate the DB was like, I'm not giving up this touchdown, because that was just, as you said, the throw of the night. It was incredible. The anticipation, and it's not like Arroyo's the fastest dude in the field, but he just timed it perfectly, layered it. Sam's playing some good football, man. I can't wait to go back and watch the tape on some of his other throws, because I thought he played a really strong game on Thursday night. So nationally, I'm sure Sam's going to get even more love.
Yeah, Sam, last thing before we go to questions. You know what Sam did? Sam did what? It was unfortunate that Gino didn't. Well, I'm going to say Gino didn't often do it, because he played okay in the Lions game last year that they lost. They put up a lot of points. But the thing with Gino, sometimes to no fault of his own, sometimes to fault of his own, was that what we were seeing on like 1 p.m. Pacific from Gino was not translating when it was 5 o'clock on Monday night or 5 o'clock on Thursday night. It's just the same. I just wish that he, in the offense, not just him, but we're able to have like, this is like for the national audience to see like, oh, this is what is going on in Seattle. Instead, sometimes be like, Gino, have a great game, have several great games, and on Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night, it just wouldn't be the same, even if they won. Sam did on Thursday what he's been doing the first 3 weeks. It looks exactly the same. He's been throwing darts all year. He's been throwing to jacks all year. He's been finding his tight ends in the red zone all year. So to see him do it on the national stage, he didn't need to throw for 400. He just need to just do what he's been doing, And I thought that was important. Just do what we paid you to do, and then make some clutch throws here and there, which they also paid him to do. So yeah, I think that we'll get to some Sam stuff as well. But yeah, I think Sam and Jax, like that's a connection right there. You can see it. This is why Jax called him in March and like, yo, let's throw, like right now. Come on, let's meet up and throw. Like, so in moments like this, that I'm open. Like Chad Johnson now says, like, I'm open right now. So yeah, shout out to those guys today for doing what they've been doing all year.
1000%. But we do have a lot of voicemails, so let's get right into it. Here is our first one.
What's good? Corey from Seattle. So my question is about the differences in personnel between Charbonnet and Ken Walker when they're on the field. and just kind of like the blocking fits. Because from what I saw tonight, it kind of looked like Charbonnet had some different looks with the amount of tight ends on his packages versus K9, but could be wrong about that. All right, thanks, bye.
Yeah, and I think this question is also shout out to the question, Corey from Seattle. I think I would imagine this question also just stems from just how bad a lot of Zach's runs go. Like they're some bad stuff, bro. Like Zach's runs were, you know what? So let me look this up. Let me look this up live while we do it. It won't take me long. All right, let me look up. Go to rushing numbers.
12 for 39.
But I specifically want to see each run. So I'm gonna read them out to you guys. So here's the 12 runs. No gain, 3 yards, 5 yards, 2-yard loss, 15 yards, 2 yards, no gain, 1 yard, the touchdown, 5 yards, 7 yards, a touchdown nullified, 2 yards, 4 yards. Chris, that's basically one good run in there. And the touchdown. So it's a 15-yarder and then the 1 yard touchdown, which kudos to Charles Cross for helping him get across the board there because he was damn near stuffed. So, and I think that's where the question comes from because it's like most of Zach's runs are bad. And I'm like, and it's not Zach's fault. A lot of those times, there's nowhere to go on some of those. And it did feel like I'm up in a press box thinking, do they just not like Zach? Like, what's going on there? And then I see Charles help him get in. I'm like, okay, love that guy. But I'm just like, something's up. Something's up. But then you also see some of Ken's runs where you're just like, wow, they don't like Ken either. Because Ken's runs not as volatile in terms of yardage, but let's look here. I think Ken had he had 19 runs, so this is going to take me a little longer, but just bear with me on this, guys. So here in order, Ken's I'm gonna do all 19. Screw it. No gain, minus 3 yards. Damn, this is the first. I'm sorry, that's not supposed to be. That's not supposed to be funny. So no gain, loss of 3, 9 yards, 21 yards, 8 yards. See, so the Ken's runs are looking better. 4 yards on 30 and 19, 4 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, minus 5, 4 yards, 20 yards, 5 yards, minus 3, 4 yards, 1 yard, no gain. So only marginally better runs, but definitely better runs. But still, it's just like, I don't think it's a personnel thing with how they use the personnel with each back. I'd have to go back and really chart it, like how often they do 12 personnel, blah, blah, blah. They didn't have Robbie Oots today and didn't use a fullback as often. So maybe that factors in as well. But just in general, they're having an issue hitting the staple runs. And I think that's a legitimate cause for concern. They're not being able to do what the scheme is based on, which is the wide zone stuff. They're not able to do it with much consistency. And when it doesn't hit, it looks bad. It's -1. It's -2. It's no gain. It's Ken Walker spinning back there because there's nowhere to go. Like, that is a concern. That's like probably the main concern I have through 4 games. Probably the only one, to be honest. Is like, not that the run game is not like humming, because I never, it's football. You're not good at the runs that you're supposed to be good at. That's a problem, right? Because Sam is being kind of left out to dry. Sam in the passing game, when he's got to just make something shake on 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 8 so often, because not only are you just not getting any yards on first down, you're going backwards quite a bit. Look at all the negatives I just rattled off there on the runs. So I don't think it's a personnel thing. I really think it's just that as a system, they're having a really hard time executing what is supposed to be their bread and butter. And I do think that's a problem. And that's something, Chris, we kind of talked about a lot this offseason with this offense. There are very famous examples of teams running this perimeter scheme, run game scheme, to no avail. Teams that are good, like the Rams in the Super Bowl that they lost with Sean McVay. They scored 3 points because they couldn't run the ball on Brian Flores' defense. That same year, Vic Fangio shut them the hell down as well. I believe that was Sunday Night Football when he was the coach of the Bears. We've seen Seahawks defenses adjust to this like perimeter run game. We just watched them shut down Christian McCaffrey for the most part in week 1. We watched Vic Fangio's Eagles defense shut down Clint Kubiak's Saints after they were scoring 40 points a night. They scored like 12, I think, in week 3 of last year against the Eagles front, because there is just a way to stop the scheme, and you have to have answers. And so far they've had some, which is why the numbers I rattled off were decent for Ken. And Ken finished with a pretty good number here. What was it?
19 for 81.
Yeah, which is 4.3 yards a pop, which is fine. But in general, the scheme is stoppable if teams commit to it right and scheme it up. And teams are doing that with success, no matter whether Zach or Ken. Just happens to be Zach is getting the short end of the stick more often right now. But I just think the whole operation is cause for concern.
Listen, Mike, this is Dave from Fresno. I was wondering from you guys what you think of local Fresno guy Torrey Horton making Offensive Player of the Year. What will it take, and will his special teams play be considered for making that decision? Also, I love to throw out the idea of naming our front line on the defense the Emerald City Crash. A crash being a group of rhinos that run at 30 miles an hour and can only see 30 feet in front of themselves as a unit. Love what you guys do. I don't miss an episode. Keep up the great work, and thanks for the time.
Oh, nice. Shout love from Fresno. At some point in the show today, Chris, we should read off some of the suggestions we got for the names for the trio of Byron, Leo, and Jay Reed. We will do that. I bookmarked some on Twitter as well, so I have them. I have them handy. So was it Emerald City Crash? That was nice. It was nice. I like it. What was the first part? Oh, Torrey Horton winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. What did Torrey do today? Probably not, because Emeka Ibuka's a thing. So let's get that part of the question out of there. He would probably have to outperform that guy, because I'm pretty sure he is killing it. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head who's killing it. Am I missing anybody?
Is Thornton with the Raiders?
Oh, Tyquan Thornton. Oh, you're talking about Deontay? The Raider guy. Nah, he's not. He's probably not.
Okay, so then no.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get that part out of there. So the answer to your question: outperform Ibuka in Tampa. There's that. Can we just also use this time real quick, Chris, to gush about what was the second best throw of the night, which was the deep bomb to Torrey
that he dropped? Oh my god! Yeah, hit him right in the face. I'm like, bro, what? DB had nothing to do with it. Catch the ball, homie. Catch the ball, my G.
Oh my god, that was
another
beautiful ball.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yo, man, Sam was dotting them up today. Oh my god. Yeah. He'll probably have to outperform Tyler Warren and McMillan from the Panthers as well. So the other guys, I wanted to look that up. But yeah, I just really wanted to use this time to be like, Torrey should have caught that ball, just to reward Sam for that was a dot, dog. That was a dot. That might actually have been just as good as a throw to Elijah, for real, because of the distance on it. Like you said, it hit. Sam couldn't have handed it to him any better. Oh my god, it was on the money. I can't wait to see how that looks on when I wake up in the morning. I'm probably gonna cut up the film of the Elijah throw and the Torrey throw and put those out right away, because those was cash. But yeah, shout out to Sam on that throw. I know this is a Torrey question, but this is the perfect time to shout out Sam, because that was a dot. It was a dot on national TV in slow-mo with a bazillion Amazon cameras. That was fire.
1000%, man. We are on one accord on that. He was slinging the rock on Thursday Night Football on the national stage. Let's get to our last voicemail here.
Hey, man, this is KJ calling from the SIP all the way down to Mississippi, man. Look, I love y'all's show, bro. I love watching on YouTube, love the film and all that. So my question would be, do we just have to live with Mike being like a conservative third down play caller, like at the end, like we just running right into the ass of the defense for like 1 yard, 2 yards instead of these long Jason Myers field goals? Like, I'm glad he came in clutch, but like, do we just got to live with this? Because he's just like a defensive minded coach. Let me know what y'all think, man. Love y'all.
Hey, appreciate that love, man. We're from everywhere. Is that our first? Mississippi? I think.
I think it's our second, if I'm not mistaken. But
okay.
But yeah, we got love out in Mississippi. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love,
Chris. I think I'd have to really go back and look, but I'm gonna be prisoner of the moment and feel like that was probably some of the most cowardly stuff I've seen Mike Macdonald do today. Was running it to Zach on 3rd and 9 to set up a 55-yard field goal or whatever that was. I knew he was gonna miss that. I almost tweeted it, but that would have just my mentions didn't need that. And I wanted him to make it. So I was like, let me just not put that in the air. Let me just think it. And I was just like, dog, That's the football gods telling you to buck up and be a man. You know, so kicking on 4th and 2 from the 26, which I think they also did to start the third quarter. I disagreed, but I can kind of live with it a little bit. Cool. What they did with Zach there, I was just inexcusable. I think I wasn't in Mike McDonald's press conference, so I couldn't ask him about it. He has a Zoom, I think Friday morning, like 10 a.m. So hopefully, I'll be able to get on that. Maybe I'll ask him about it. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But that was just terrible to me. And it's weird because he's not usually that conservative. Usually they at least like try to get the first. You know what I mean? You know, whether it's a play I don't like, hook and lateral, screen. Usually it's a screen, which is bad. But I would have took a screen over that, for real. That was I just felt like that was too much playing not to lose. That's what it felt like. And Mike's, for the most part, done a decent job, I think. Some 4th down decisions I don't like, but I think 4th downs, it's easier to beef over those or understand the other side. Conservative 3rd down stuff is just really annoying, you know, especially since I'm pretty sure, Chris, let me look up, make sure I have this right. I'm pretty sure that the missed kick, let me see, Control F, no good. Nah, easy. I was able to find that. So pop right up. So the no good is 53-yard kick that he missed, and that would have put them up 23-13 with 3 minutes left. Game virtually over for the most part. So instead, the Cardinals go down and tie it. But that kick, or that decision to run like a little inside handoff on 3rd and 9 from the 37, that came right after Sam threw the 36-yarder to Jax on a double move. So I'm like, if you have a quarterback who can do that, a receiver who can do that, an O-line who can protect, because I'm pretty sure the pocket was clean on the Jax throw, in what world are you like, we might? Because you know what the logic is that I'm sure Kubiak and Mike would tell us is, well, Mike, Chris, if we take a sack there on I think they're on the 37-yard line, from where they're at, they could be out of field goal range. That's probably the thought process, like fear of the negative. That's some Pete Carroll type stuff there. I don't like that. Feel like you're gonna go get the thing, you know, because you had just gotten one. It was so confusing. It wasn't like Sam was check down Charlie all day. He was making throws, and in the second half, he was making them to Jax. Yeah, that was that. To answer the question, hopefully no. Hopefully we don't see that type of coward stuff, because I hated that, and I'm not glad that Jason missed, because that's too cruel. But I'm glad that the football guys called out Mike in real time to be like, dog, scared money don't make no money. Like you said, I'm a gambler. Go get the first down. Gamble on Jackson getting open. Shoot, gamble on one of your tight ends getting open. You know, they were doing everything too. Yeah, I didn't like that at all, and I really hope that we don't see more of those type of decisions when Sam is playing well. If your offense isn't playing well, then maybe that's the call. Sam just hit a 36-yarder. Go run that play again. Shoot, you know. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Hopefully we never see that again.
I don't know if it stems from Mike McDonald talking about, I believe in OTAs and before training camp, talking about how he wants to put his defense in these type of positions. He wants to win the games on the defensive side. They did have their opportunity after the missed field goal, and the Cardinals ended up marching down the field anyway. So he had his opportunity to have the defense step up and make a play, make a few plays and get a stop, but that didn't happen. So maybe that has a part in it, but yeah, it was kind of frustrating to say. Well, I know fans, thought my timeline just erupted. What are you doing? Why? So yeah, definitely learn from that lesson there. We're not gonna say a mistake. Learn from that lesson, and then just lay it out there. As you mentioned, you just threw a 30-yard bomb on a double move. You know what I mean? Things could have gone wrong there a bunch, but it didn't, because you threw to your best guy. He got open and he caught the ball, got his feet in. So yeah, be aggressive. Shoot, go try to score if that's the case. If you try to do a double move, why not go down and score? What kind of message are you sending to your offensive players? So just be a little more aggressive. I think that's something that they can build on, because as you've talked about, JSN has proven to be a number one receiver so far. So I can't wait to watch the tape again. But let's continue with these. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. One last quick thing on that. because this is also why I didn't like it. And it doesn't really have to do with like going and being aggressive, and all that stuff is true as well. But let's say, remember I was talking about fear of the negative. Let's say Sam drops back and takes a sack, and now you're at like the 44-yard line. Obviously, you can't go for it on 3rd and 17, right? Or 4th and 17 is what it would be. I would actually be okay punting there and then making Arizona have to go 90 yards or something like that to go tie the game. Because then if you miss the field goal, which is totally plausible from 53, now they got the short field and they can go score very quickly, which is exactly what happened. So I just didn't like any part about that. Mike McDonald, never do that again.
Fair enough. This next one is from Ed Prince. The Seahawks game felt like a team of the past and how that game went. I'm concerned about how the offense looked in the second half. Was that us, as in the Seahawks, or was that the Arizona defense being that good?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say teams of the. This is a different team. I wouldn't say it reminded me of any old teams per se. I think that, like, for instance, I give you an example. Mike, when he was trying to protect the lead, was not like playing like prevent. Like we used to see Pete do that quite a bit, and I'd be like, everyone hitting us up in our questions after, like, why are we playing 10 yards off? Like that used to happen quite a bit. Mike doesn't think that way. He likes to put the nail in the coffin, which is why he was just blitzing Kyler Murray every play on the final drive. Credit to Kyler, man. That's might be the best I've seen him play. He was just standing in there and making those throws. So I don't think they were like a team of yesteryear or whatever, if I use that correctly. I really just think the offense in the second half you're going to have just lulls with this offense when the runs aren't hitting. That's a fact. That could be first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. That's a problem, like we talked about earlier. The other thing is the Cardinals' defense got better. Last year, the Cardinals had what I would call probably the worst front in the league defensively. And you can see what just a couple moves can change. They went and got a big nose tackle. I forget his name.
Tomlinson?
Dalvin? Is it Dalvin?
Yeah. I believe I know it's Tomlinson, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So he here, I'll just look it up. What number is he?
94?
94, Dalvin Tomlinson, yes. So he's good. They went and got Calais, who, even though he's 78, is still good. And then they go get Josh Sweat.
He was whooping Sundale's ass a couple times. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, God dang, poor Sundale.
No, yeah. Hey, the I think the first sack that Sam took,
oh my God,
was like that looked like the type of stuff that be on kids' draft highlights when they get called on draft night. Like, look at him just ripping through the Big 12. My God, he beat Sundale and AB same play. That was crazy. So, but anyway, the Cardinals front is better, so it makes sense that they were able to shut down some of the stuff that the Seahawks wanted to do. That's a good front. We talked about that a little bit, I think, on our One Big Thing. I mentioned when Chris drafted the Cardinals defense in our fantasy league, I was like, oh, that's weird. And then they're good. I think they were like a top 10 scoring defense coming into this game, and they only gave up 23. So I think they're just going to have those problems when you can't run the ball with consistency. Again, whether it's the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, you just can't run. You can't run it the way you need to. You're just going to have some issues. So that's on offense. On defense, this is weird. I'm not, as much as Chris and I talk about like DB play and locating the ball, I'm just not that worried, because like in the game, the two games they won, or weeks 2 and 3, right? Defensively, they played great, both games, for like the entire game. And in week 1, they played good for like, what, Chris? If a game's an hour, 57 minutes, and then Reek makes 2 bad plays and they lose. And then in the today, they play good for what, 50 minutes, and then Reek makes a bad play. Spoon gets beat twice, and they win because they go down an offensive score. I feel like, in terms of just like the process of how their defense plays on a snap to snap basis, on average, it's very high level. If teams need what I would kind of call outlier plays, or like just spectacular one-on-one catches to beat these guys, or Reek doing something he shouldn't, I think that your defense is fine. Like, if it's the thing I have to worry about the most is like Reek not turning his head, That's all I'm really worried about. That's not a defense I have great concerns about. One, just because I kind of trust Reek. Two, even if I didn't, Mike won't trust him if he keeps doing that. Like if he does that again, they're just gonna not play him. Like I feel very confident in that. I don't know if they talked about it on the broadcast, but they were taking Reek out on early downs today for the first time I have ever seen. Like they were using some of their like 3 safety stuff, bringing DeAnthony Bell in, and then the 2 corners would be Josh and Spoon, right? So they're already kind of soft launching the, hey, we got a package that you're not in. And I had never seen that till today. So, and I don't think Spoon, Chris, I feel very confident to say we're not going to see Spoon get beat like that very often, like he did today with Marv. Like Marv just morphed into the number 4 overall pick or whatever he was in the fourth quarter. Like, he was balling. But I feel like those plays were very uncharacteristic. They required great throws, perfect catches. Like it felt like just outlier stuff from what we're seeing from down to down. So if the defense is going to be Reek DPIs or Reek not getting his head around or whatever, Reek miscues and Spoon getting beat one-on-one just for the team to lose by 3, I'm just not that concerned. I trust both of those guys to make those plays for one. And again, if Reek doesn't, he's not just going to keep starting. They're going to pull him. Mike's going to pull him today for a little bit. So not really worried. I think the team's in a really good spot outside of the run stuff that we've already discussed.
Fair enough. This next one is from Jeff White. Why is it not a tush push on every 4th and 1? Obviously, not every team can do it, but the Seahawks definitely can. What goes into that decision not to run the tush push on 4th and 1?
So Mike McDonald was asked about this, I think, after the Steelers game. My days are running together. In short, Mike's answer was that the yardage matters. So every 4th and 1 is not created the same. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is like 4th and half a yard. Sometimes it's 4th and like a true full yard that you need to get. Sometimes it says 4th and 1, but it's really like a yard and a half. Sometimes it's 4th and 2. Sometimes it's 3rd and 1, whatever. That's Mike's logic, all right? So I'm Mike McDonald, not me. That's Mike McDonald's thought process. So let me end that. That's me reporting. Now here's my opinion. That's stupid. Run it till they stop it. Run it till they stop it. If it's 4th and 1 and AJ Barner gets stuffed, cool. You know, that's fine. You go look at why he got stuffed to see if it was a schematic thing, bad execution, whatever. You learn from it. You either run it again or scrap it. Chris, until then, keep doing it. I don't get it. Do you see that? Dog, did you see the first 4th and 1 today? Shotgun run to Zach?
Yeah, that was
Ryan Grubb in the building?
Yeah, it was very shocking. Nonetheless, I'm unsure why they even line up in shotgun. This is a team that I know they don't have Robbie Oots, but my God, if you're gonna put Zach Charbonnet in there, go under center and hand him the football. None of this shotgun stuff. And then the center got blown off the ball. Number 94 Tomlinson just wrecked it, and then you have the linebacker just saying, "What's up, buddy? Yeah, where are you going?" And then he got wrapped up by I think another safety or whatever. So it just didn't make sense. If you're gonna grind, if you're going to start off the offseason by saying you're going to be this tough physical football team running the football, you show it to us all preseason, and then in the regular season you ran the tush push twice, you're 2 for 2 on it, it works, you've done it well. Again, AJ Barner is 6'6", 260. He can get a yard. I'm fairly confident in that tush push working, the AJ push, whatever you want to call it. I am confident it's going to work. For them to just be like, hey, yo, Zach, shotgun, 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Let's run it to you. To the right side. If you're going to run it, go to the left. Go to Charles Cross, the rookie. Give them a shot. To the right, it didn't work. Anthony Bradford's not a good, sometimes he lost in the sauce. Can't wait to go back and watch the film to see if he was lost in that play, but I don't think he was. I think he did okay. But I know Sundell got blown off the line of scrimmage. Okay, I saw that vividly on the replay over and over again, but I'm not understanding shotgun runs on 4th down. It needs to be. I need, as Mike would say, I need a UC here under center. Okay, Get back to that. I'm not a big fan of it. So again, it's the second time they've tried it and it hasn't worked. You would think, we should probably get out of that and try the tush push again. And yeah, Mike McDonald's whole discussion of it depends on the yardage, bruh. AJ Barner is 6'6". he can get the first. You're 2 for 2. I can see if you were 0 for 2 and you said that. All right. Maybe you're just not executing it as you would need to. But come on, man. You guys are the Seahawks are money on it right now. So we agree to disagree on that one, Mike McDonald. Maybe you'll figure it out. Go ahead.
You want to hear something funny? I was thinking
Go
about.
ahead.
I just looked it up. AJ Barnes run 2 tush pushes, one on 3rd and 1, one on 4th and 1. One against the Niners, one against the Steelers. There was 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. He got 2 yards both times. So it's proven you can get 2 yards with it. It's not just a get 1 yard play. Oh my God. You know what? And then the other thing I didn't like, last thing on this, they had another short yardage. I want to say 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or something. And they went play action pass to like Barner and for something. Like I think they got like 6 yards. I ain't even like that. And that
when they
that
rolled
worked.
to the left. When they rolled to the left. Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't even like that. And that worked.
I was thinking, not the rollout stuff. We've seen that go backward. We've seen that fail.
Yeah. Like that should be in the playbook. But for some reason today, I just did not like that. I was just like, even though that worked, don't do that again. So anyway, that's our short yardage spiel for the show.
Fair enough. This is from our guy Ryan Turner at Turns 44. All right. I'm going off the grid a little here. That JSN holding penalty was horrible. Let's plant a flag here. Should coaches have 1 penalty challenge per game?
Maybe. I don't know if holding is though I want to be challengeable. I know it's in the moment that sounds crazy because I feel like if for the Seahawks today they could have got a touchdown, but I just didn't. I don't like it. I feel like you're just risking a lot because offensive linemen hold so much. Like you're just holding is probably not the one I'd want reviewed. So maybe you could implement that rule, but I just don't think holding should be reviewable. I just think slippery slope, make the game too long. I don't know. Even though you can only get 1 per game. I will say this though. And I saw the replays of it. I saw it live. As soon as Zach cut outside, I was like, he's going to get called for holding. Like you can just see Jackson was trying to block it so that Zach went behind him, and maybe Jackson didn't hold him. I don't know. I could see both ways. I could see why Jackson was upset so much that he swore on national television. And then I could see why the ref was like, that's holding. Because it does look like he kind of brings the DB down with him, although the DB is like tackling him as well. It's funky. I get it. However, I feel like my take from this play is that all of this could have been avoided. I feel like if Zach had went inside, when you bounce it out, it made it just look way worse. It made it look like holding. Like it looked like holding in real time because of that. I feel like if he had just went inside, the DB probably doesn't do that. Jackson has it wouldn't have looked like the DB was trying to bounce outside with Zach. And instead he's just going inside. You probably don't even get holding, Even if he had held him, I just don't think you call it in that scenario. When running backs bounce it, you're running the risk of your guy, whether it's your tight end, tackle, whoever, getting called. So just run straight. That's what you're big, Like you just said, AJ Barner's measurements. I don't know what Zach's are, but he's a big dude. So go forward. So yeah, it could very well have not been holding. I see both sides of it, but I just think, you avoid this altogether. I think if the run just hits right there, especially with how big Zach is, he would have ran that DB over, I think, and it would have been 6.
This is from Grograk the Great. After 4 games on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you guys in the Hawks offense right now?
I like this question. I hadn't thought of it in numerical terms. I would maybe like a 6.5, maybe 7. I think. I think Kubiak's doing okay. Not great, but okay. I really like how Sam's playing. We started the show with that. I love how Jax is playing. I love that they have another deep ball threat besides Jax and Torrey. So that's good. It's not just the Jax show when you need explosives. I think the pass pro's been good enough. Today was some rough reps. I think it's generally been good. And then I have some negatives, which is why I wouldn't be higher. The run stuff we've talked about. And we joke about this quite a bit, but I really do think their screen game is actively hurting the offense. There's a reason why I'm so against this, because it's just not, it's really bad. Chris, what makes it even worse with these screens is when the other team is executing them in the same game. That screen call to who's on the 4?
Dortch.
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 Is Do you
I think
pronounce
it's
the
Dort.
ch?
I think it's just Dort, but it might be Dortch.
Let's see if his name's on the pronunciation guide. It is not. All right. I got Calais Campbell on here. Everybody know how to pronounce that. Anyway, so number four, Dortch, whatever. That screen to him against the cover 0 in the fourth quarter.
On 3rd
That's
and
how you
9? Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3rd and long. It was 3rd and long for sure. That's how you run a screen. Seahawks don't have that. They just don't. And their screens go poor. It's like -4, -3. You know, it's just bad stuff. And I really think it's actively hurting the offense. Because when you're not running it well, you do need those. And Chris, this might be the worst screen team in the league again. Because
Yeah.
even regressed a little bit from Brian Grubb, who found one screen that worked.
The tunnel screen.
Kubiak don't even have that.
They ran it once and hasn't been run again. So I don't have any commentary on that, you know, other than people hit me up on the timeline. See, Chris, screen game, yeah, screen game, haha. I'm just like, great. I'm on this dying hill. It's a lonely place, but it's okay. This is from Ryan King 702. At what point do the Seahawks just roll with Charbonnet over K9 full time?
Yeah, it goes back to what we were talking about in the open, man. We were talking about the run game earlier. Man, it is tough. I just think the blocking got to be better. You guys know where I stand on this. I think Ken's a better runner. I don't feel shame saying that. Like, Ken's really, really, really good. He just had. You could even see it on some of the runs that are like end up being 3 yards. It would be -2 if Ken wasn't like super agile, very strong. You know, I think he gets a little bit of a bad rap on some of the decisions he makes. He's not always just bouncing it outside because he can't read the keys. Like sometimes, and you saw this today, you saw it last week as well, when he had like a run where he ends up hurdling somebody for like a yard. What happens is Ken's getting tackled on his lower extremities and their momentum is spinning him. So he's trying to go with that. It happened quite a bit. It happens a lot actually, because he's so strong. He's got strong like lowers, like a strong guy. So I don't think he's as bad as he's been in the past at like reading, cutting everything outside. So I think they should stick with this the balance that they have. And I say this as a Ken Walker fantasy owner. What was it? 19 runs today, 12 for Zach, and that's with Ken getting what felt like pulled for that taunting call. Final drive of the first half. Yeah, I think I just think it's got to be the blocking, man. It's got to be better. Got to be better for both of them. It's got to work. So I do think Ken should be the lead guy like they have it. I think he should run the ball more than Zach on any given week. I like to change up between the two of them, keep them fresh, blah, blah, blah. Use both of them in the passing game, all that stuff. But really more so than this guy's a better runner than this guy. It really is. They'll both eat if the blocking is there. You know what they can – I really this is going to be hyperbole, but you guys get what I'm saying. You guys watched the Monday night game. It was Lions and Ravens. The Lions, I think, ran for like 220 or something like that with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. The Seahawks can have their version of that if they block. They can. There's no reason it has to be one or the other. Just like in Detroit, it's not one or the other. Gibbs is the starter, I think, but David eats too. You know, so I think the Seahawks can have that. They just need to block better, like a lot better.
I will say they might have to stop doing the halfback toss to Charbonnet. I don't feel like that's helping him much.
They should scrap that. You're right. Scrap that.
That's the worst play in the book. There's too many times where he catches it and he doesn't have that burst. And if the linebacker gets to that spot, gets to the edge before he gets outside, well, it goes for a loss of yards, no gain. So I think if you're going to do that, do it to Ken. Hell, it worked for JSN. Matter of fact, they said, JSN, you haven't caught a pass yet. Come get this toss outside. And he got like 8 yards. So yeah, I like that creativity. That was cool. But Zach Charbonnet doesn't need to get the toss. He needs the ISO, the stretch, the counter. That's it. None of that toss stuff. That's off of what I'm seeing. It's not his thing. So hopefully that'll erase some of the negative plays that he gets during on his running attempts. This next one comes from Jim Hills. Why so many flare passes and few slants?
Well, they don't really have a slant team. You think about it. Like DK, any receiver can run any route. Let me say that. There are just some guys who that is their bag. Jackson can run anything. But the rest of the guys, it's not really their bag. That was like a DK thing. And I think that they run a lot of condensed formations and tight splits and stuff like that, which doesn't lend itself to like traditional, okay, you're outside the numbers, run this slant. We're going to throw it to you quick. And it's just not a lot of that, which is fine. I don't think you need it. I think you just need to run the ball better. I do think they've got to I think they need to get into a better rhythm with some of their play action stuff. I think they do this thing that's weird. I don't know why they do it. Maybe I should ask somebody since I'm a reporter. But they put their 3 tight end package on the field, and then Torrey is the only receiver out there, which I don't like. I really like to see like that be Jackson. Maybe he's tired in those. I don't know. It seems like a personnel thing. But their quick game, I think, is fine generally without a heavy slant game. I actually think their quick game works better without it. You could see some of the plays today even. I don't know if they showed a slow-mo of it, but Chris, you remember Sam had a ball today to cut. And if he don't throw that, when he throws that linebacker just comes and knocks that bad boy down. Like
that little stick route that he did for like 8 yards. Yep.
Yeah, like that stuff. Their quick game actually really works well. AJ Barner had a quick pass to the sideline out of their quick. So their quick game, everyone needs one. I think theirs is actually pretty good without like a super heavy slant game. I think where I would probably maybe try to see it is if you're getting man-to-man and Elijah Arroyo's outside the numbers, maybe. But I'm not really sure if that's the best use of his skill set. Maybe on the goal line, I think. But I just don't think they got a lot of slant guys. They got a lot of they have like 10 slot receivers. It's really what it feels like. Not to say those guys can't like get slants and stuff, but
that's not their strength.
Yeah. But when you condense the formations, though, that makes that tougher as well. You're running a lot of play action. Like it's not like whose offense has a lot of that stuff. Like it's not like the Bengals, or even the Eagles. They just run a bazillion slants to AJ Brown, But that's their offense. AJ lines outside the numbers. He gets one-on-ones because they got to load the box up because of Saquon. They don't have that yet. I think it'll come if they run the ball better, but right now that's probably why you're not seeing a bunch. And maybe need to look this up. Maybe they do run a bunch of slants and I'm just not seeing it. But from watching the tape of the first 3 games and today, it doesn't feel like they are.
I've watched the tape. I don't think I've seen one slant yet. I am confident in saying that. I can go back and rewatch and verify, but I don't think I've seen anybody run a slant. It's been a lot of, for instance, JSN, I don't think it's run a slant. It's usually a deep dig, a deep out, a post, a go ball. Hell, I don't even know if he's ran a curl yet. So, yeah. But anywho, I don't want to get down the whole route tree of what they're doing. But yeah, I think you summed it up pretty well there. This next one comes from RG in Seattle. How much of this game being so close comes down to Clint Kubiak's play calling?
Says Jax has run 4 slants. Interesting.
Watch that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, we'll have to see there. I do think the first third down of the game might have been one to Torrey. I think we'll see, or maybe Jax had one today. Anyway, Clint's play calling. I think Clint is we haven't talked a great deal about Clint other than to make fun of some stuff here and there. But I do think in general, Clint's been what I've thought. Like he's a decent coordinator. He mixes in some stuff I like. I don't think he's like an elite coordinator. I think he's just good, And I think honestly, you guys would probably agree as well that when Clint was hired, none of you guys were like, "Oh, we got the best OC." You guys were like, "We got somebody who's better than Grubb," and that really is probably all you needed, to put a competent offense on the field, which is what they have. They have a competent offense. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just it's not great and it's not bad. It's decent enough. It'll get the job done if the defense is playing like this. I do wonder what would happen if the defense has that inevitable, like, they can't stop anybody game. Because every good defense has that. Legion of Boom had that. They did. And they would have it against like a random Cardinals team too. It wouldn't even be like another good team. It'd be like, why is Scott Tolzien throwing on y'all today or something? So it's going to happen. I'm very curious to see how the offense responds, if they're ready for a shootout when that happens, because we see they're ready for like an ugly game. But I think Clint has been like an average dude. I don't see a ton of stuff where I'm like, oh man, this guy is it. They're gonna lose him at the end of the year. Like somebody's gonna hire this guy. But I also don't see like a ton of is he just grub with hair? You know, I'm not seeing that as well. He's like right in the middle. He probably got like the 13th best OC. That's fine. I think that's it. I think a much bigger issue than Clint is just like them not being able to run wide zone and kill teams with it. Because until they can do that, they won't be a great offense. They'll just be like a good one that is kind of more reliant on its defense, keeping the scores low.
This next one comes from at Ease World. Does Clint's play calling lack consistency or execution? Shout out to E. She's been a long-time listener as well.
Yeah, I really think it is the execution. Because there's the thing about the scheme. And this is why I was never really a fan of the idea that the scheme would fix everything, right? This offseason. That's what John and those guys were trying to sell us. And Mike McDonald's like, oh, we got this scheme. We got this, we're going to teach it better and it's going to be more clarity and all this stuff. Sure, maybe some of that's true. But I don't think it's just you just insert the scheme run by this guy with this personnel and everything's fixed. The defense gets paid too. And we're seeing that. But the other thing about the scheme is, I remember Sean McVay talking about this quite a bit when he was running a version of it with Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, those teams, was he just wants this like elegant simplicity. He wants to do everything, wants to do the simple really well. Like it's complex, but what we're doing is just a very simple scheme that we can build a bunch of complex things off of. Boot actions that look the same, runs that look like passes that look like runs. And that's what this scheme is. So it's not a bunch of like trick you stuff. It's a lot of like go execute in the run game, use that to set up the other stuff. Now, ultimately, players do got to make plays. Quarterbacks got to make throws. Guys got to run routes. AJ Barner's touchdown was a great route today. I'm glad that got the slow-mo treatment on prime time. That was great. He should put that on the gram for the fam. He should. But in general, it's a lot of like, we're going to execute better than you, not we're going to run a bunch of stuff you haven't seen or don't know that we're going to do. Like, yeah, you mix up some stuff. Maybe you have some tendencies where like, oh, on 3rd and 6, we run stick routes 80% of the time. So now we're going to run something else. Like there's going to be tendency breakers, of course, which coordinators have to be good at as well. You got to self-scout, which I don't think Grubb was very good at. But I think the scheme is really a lot of, we're going to have this little package of stuff we do that's so hard to stop. And then we're going to build all the counters off of that, which is fine until they stop the stuff you're supposed to be good at. Then you are left like, okay, what do we do? So I do think that's going to be an issue if they can't get better at the thing that's supposed to lay the foundation. That's going to be very important because right now, this is Sam and Jax are just hooping. That's what the offense is right now. I know Jax leads the league in receiving yards right now. He's played one more game than everyone. But unless Puka goes, Puka just needs to have a decent day. He'll pass him. But either way, Jack's going to be one of the top 5 guys in receiving yards. As great as that is for him, you need Ken and Zach to eventually get up there in rushing yards as a duo as well. Without that, there's some sustainability issues. But again, I think that's an execution thing. Particularly in the middle of the line, Chris, felt like they had a rough day. Even though you mentioned Sandell.
Oh, man.
That didn't feel like a good day for the interior today. I got to go watch, but yeah, it didn't feel. I don't know if Gray had a great day either. Maybe I'd have to go back and.
Yeah, Gray also got beat, I think, on that play too. But
which play?
Yeah. The same play. It was like center, left guard, blown up.
Oh, yeah.
It might not have been that play, but I did remember seeing old rookie looking back like, oh shoot. It's like, yeah, man, that you gotta secure that block. But lessons to be learned. They'll watch the tape and be better for their next matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Should be a fun one. This next one is from Phil Birnbaum. Do you believe in Sam Darnold in crunch time?
I gotta say, Chris, he hasn't. Again, the fumble in week 1 was like bad, but not like something I think that says that Sam's bad. I do think he was making the right read. He looked for Jax. He was going to throw it to Ken. Like, it was very quick. He didn't hold the ball too long. His highest paid lineman got bull rushed by Nick Bosa, right? And it was over. Sometimes that happens. I did want to see Sam in another close game situation, and I thought he performed. I thought that drive, the 3rd and 9 against the Steelers a couple weeks ago, was outstanding stuff to basically go down there and ice the game, because that then came the throw to Jax. And then today, they need to get out. They need to at least flip the field, which is when you get the 36-yarder to Jax. And then today, to go ice the game, you get the throw to Jax. So Sam has just shown me some good stuff, like in high leverage. Everything hasn't been like dramatic, the end of a sports movie, slow-mo stuff like it was today. But I think in general, he's looked very comfortable operating the whole thing in crunch time. We'll see. You got to sustain it, you know. But so far, I've been impressed by that he's been able to look like Geno. Geno was very good in 2-minute late game stuff too. It reminds me of that. You know, I think that it wouldn't surprise me if the next time they have this situation, Sam goes down there and leads them to a touchdown. Like, he's making a lot of good decisions with the ball, throwing accurately. You know, Chris, low-key, I thought a really cool play, not cool play per se, but a really important one was getting rid of the ball on first down on that last drive, like just throwing it over AJ's head so you stop the clock. They only had one timeout. Yeah, you can take a completion there, but if AJ you're losing like 15 seconds probably. Get up, spike it, whatever. So, like, even just stuff like that, it's good operational stuff, I think. You know, maybe he missed a read and that's why he needed to do that. But from what I could tell, I was like, oh, that's good play. So, I guess, yeah, I believe in Sam, I guess. I don't know. So far, so good. Do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember coming in the season, I thought he could be, with an offensive line that protects him, I thought he would be fine. And so far, through 4 weeks, the offensive line has done their part in pass protection, and Sam's delivered, which I'm not surprised by, but I think he just needs the offensive line to do their part, and he can be a pure point guard. He can be the Steve Nash, averaging 13 points and 11 assists. It's not crazy numbers, but he's putting your team in position to win, and he's doing that. And we talked about his 4 or 5 throws that he layered tonight or Thursday night and was very impressive, Mike. So, yeah, I'm all in. Let's see if he can continue doing it, because maybe they'll flex him into a couple of other Sunday night, Monday night games when that time comes. So we'll see how this all unfolds as the season progresses. This next one, we'll go to the defensive side. It comes from Nova Beast Mode. I noticed Mike Morris playing on the edge on several plays, and I was kind of surprised, as I thought we already had a set rotation with DeMarcus Lawrence, Chenna, who had a sack on Thursday night, Boye Mafe, and D. Hall. What did you see this year from him? So I believe when DeMarcus Lawrence went out, they needed some bodies. So, because he had that thigh injury. So I think they just ended up mixing in Mr. Morris in that regard. But Morris is also, he played last week and had a few good snaps. So I think Mike McDonald's just seeing he's putting up good work on the tape. He's going to give him more of an opportunity, especially when D-Law goes down with an injury. So for the most part, I thought Mike Morris played well. I'll go back and watch the tape and see how he really played. But on first glance, I thought, okay, he's making a few plays. He's in the game, and he's effective. So I don't know what you saw from him, Mike.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's correct. He was in because of the D-Law injury. He went out, I think, in the first half, chasing down Kyler Murray, which was a really good effort play. It sucks that he got hurt on that. But yeah, Mike's in. He was in as like a big end, you know, like a kind of like a – Mike's like 300 pounds, I believe. Mike Morris is. So he's a defensive tackle / defensive end, kind of like Michael Bennett a little bit. Maybe a better comp would be Quentin Jefferson as well. He's like their Q Jeff, basically. He can't play in space, so he's not like a true outside backer like Boye or D. Hall or even Chenna. but he's not quite like a nose tackle like Jay Reed or Murph, So he's very much like Leo, where he can play outside, play inside. Played really good, to your point, against the Saints inside. He played great. He had a great game. I had to go look and see today, but that's why he was out there in those passing situations. Because they really, if you notice, they're really only playing those three guys in the trenches for the most part, in the interior: Jay Reed, Leo, and Murph. And so without like Hankins and only a few snaps of guys like Bohanna and Peely, they need another big dude, which is Mike. Mike doesn't need to play that much in pass rush situations on the edge because they have D-Law. They got their four guys. When they don't have that, they got to use Mike. So that's all. I don't know how bad D-Law's injury is. I missed Mike's press conference. And the quote sheet that I'm reading now doesn't say anything. Just like, oh, he couldn't come back in. So whatever. We'll see by Friday morning. But that's why he was in. But I think that's an important role, mostly for their run defense. Mike's a really good run defender. And he's strong. You need your guy on the end, one of those guys, to be very strong so he could take on tight ends, take on pullers, like just be a beast. And that's what D-Law is. So basically, Mike's D-Law is backup.
This next one comes from Big Ass Eyebrows. With Byron Murphy, we got a real one, don't we? Yes.
I like Murph, man.
Yes, he is. Mike McDonald kind of joked about it and saying, you guys were all talking about, oh, Byron Murphy this, Byron Murphy that, and now he's doing it. We know he's capable. He's getting opportunities. And yeah, the Seahawks, you guys, fans, the team, they have a really unique talent. He is definitely taking that next stride. He's taking on double teams and winning. You're usually supposed to take on double teams and allow Ernest Jones and Tyrese Knight and Drake Thomas to make the play. Instead, Byron's like, nah, I want some love too. I'm going to go ahead and get this TFL. I'm going to go ahead and get this run stop. I'm going to go ahead and get a sack. So Byron is taking that next step. And if he continues to climb, I think this defense can be even more special. So, yeah, the Seahawks definitely got a real one there.
Yeah, man. I love Murph. You said it. You said it perfectly. We don't got to spend too much more time. I don't think he lit up the box score today or anything, but just, yeah, Mike McDonald. The reason why Mike sometimes laughs at our questions is just like, okay, y'all not really watching the tape. Okay, that's why. That's where the Murph questions come from. If you really watch the tape and you see what Murph is doing, you wouldn't be like, do you expect, like, what's going on? You would never ask what's going on, Murph. Like, I've never asked that to Mike because I know what's going on. He's playing nose tackle and backing up two very good guys who play like three technique with Jay Reed and Leo. Like, it makes sense. And then when he's getting his ops, he's winning, and then he got hurt last year as well as a rookie. Hate when rookies get hurt. You just lose all that time. You need those reps. So yeah, Murph's fine. Murph's gonna be a baller. He is a baller. That's why we're gonna read some of these nicknames because those guys have earned it. Did I mention what the Cardinals rushing numbers were today? Because
no, you did
they
not.
did not run the ball
ahead.
today at all. Again. Let me look this up. Okay. Trey Benson, 8 carries, 35 yards, and only 1 first down. DeMarcado, I probably butchered that. 2 carries for 8 yards. Dortch, 1 carry for 4 yards. Michael Carter, 1 carry for 1 yard. So, wow. So they only ran for 2 first downs today. That's it, bro. 2. Their running backs combined for a lot of nothing. That's less. That's like 44 yards from their running backs or something like that. And then if you throw in Dortch, it's a wide receiver. Kyler led them in rushing with 5 carries for 41 yards, and one of those was a 29-yard scramble, late in the game. Those numbers, Murph, Jay Reed, Leo, D Hall, that D line is playing crazy right now. Teams just can't run the ball on these guys. Like, it's nuts. I bet you on a little fantasy football app, you know how it'd be like when your player's about to play a team that does the thing good or bad that your player does, like if they got good pass coverage, or whatever. I bet you, man, they'd probably telling you to sit every running back when they play the Seahawks. Them dudes can't do nothing. They can't score. Seahawks the only team that haven't allowed a rushing touchdown. That's crazy.
Shout out to one of our fantasy owners in our league that we're in. He decided to start Benson over Marvin Harrison Jr. We'll move on to the next question.
Ooh, that's rough.
That is rough. This is from Zach. Felt like McDonald got very blitz happy at the end of the game, despite the fact that they've been getting pressure with the 4 rushers all game, and it seemed to give the Cardinals some easy opportunities. Do you think that was smart?
Yeah, I like Mike's cover zero schemes. I think they're good. I think they force the quarterback to make quick decisions. I think that most quarterbacks cannot handle it. I think they honestly probably should have got off the field on the fourth down late in the game. I think Kobe tips the ball. And
one
my
that-
man one hands it, Michael
Oh
Wilson.
yeah. I mean, come
I
on.
think someone tipped that, right? I didn't get a good
No,
look at that.
he. I don't think it was tipped. I think he just made an incredible play. And
Oh,
that's
so
I think
he just threw it super early. That's what it was.
that pressure was there. Like you said, Mike is dialing up 5-man pressures, and the O line don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Like
So
Tyler's
I
running
like
for his
that.
life.
Yeah, I like that. That's his mentality. It was last year too. That's how they iced the Jets game. That's how they iced the Bears game.
So I iced the
I like-
Cardinals game. Week 12.
Which one? Oh yeah.
At
So
home.
I like
Yeah.
I like his aggressiveness there because he plays cover zero in a calculated way too. Like sometimes today, which is all out. It's like Drake Thomas go, Ernest go, Kobe go. Like it was some of those today were just go, which is fine. I like those. He got the corners that can cover. He's got a lot of variations to cover zero. He knows when to disguise it as well. And they wasn't just sacking Murray with frontline guys today. Drake Thomas had a
cornerback
sack
blitz,
today.
baby.
Beautiful double. We're going to clip this. Double cornerback blitz into a flea flicker. Oh, my God. That was the perfect call for that. Oh, my goodness. That play had no shot, you know. And that's Job, I think, in spoon splitting that. So they had a sack. Last week, Ty Okada had a sack. Drake Thomas has a sack, you know. I think Ernest got one today, I think, because Kyler ran out of bounds behind the line. But for the most part, the sacks today were a team effort, not just we're rushing with 4, everybody's eating, you know. The only edge rusher with a sack is Chenna, you know, and he had 2. So I love his strategy there because it's not just all out, just we're going to rush, engage 8 or whatever they call it on Madden. We're not engage 8 every play and leave our corners out to dry. That's dumb. He doesn't do that. He's calculated. He messes with the protection schemes. And I think when you have that identity, it allows you to dictate the terms to the offense. Because now if the offense is thinking, okay, we got to spend all of Thursday's practice coming up with cover zero beaters, right? That's what you got to do when you're about to play the Seahawks. And if your team doesn't have answers, it could go real bad, as we've seen for some of these teams. So I love that he does it. They do it really well. I like that the Vikings do it with Flores as well. Like they're a really good blitz team. The Chiefs are a really good blitz team late game with Spagnuolo. So, yeah, the teams that major in it and do it well, I love that. Don't just sit back and play off and no, man. Bring the heat to the quarterback. Make the quarterbacks have to think. Make the routes have to be perfect. Make the catches have to be perfect. You know, they did a really good job of that today. And the Cardinals answered that some of those times. You know, kudos to them. But every team's not going to be able to do that.
This one is from Nasty Nav. What was Spoon's injury last week, and do you think he's still recovering? He didn't look like our guy on Thursday night.
He looked like Spoon. He looked like he was amped the hell up. He was on fire. When Chris and I play flag football, I very regularly do not try to pull the flag if I can. I try to take the ball from the other guy. Sometimes I'll do it at the expense of pulling the flag. I bring that up because Spoon had one of those today where he easily could have just tackled whoever that was in the flag. And he was just trying to suplex him. I'm pretty sure. Like he was trying to pick him up and throw him to the ground.
It was Benson.
It was it? Okay, yeah. So that's Spoon, though. That's him. That when I saw that play, I was like, oh, Spoon's back. Like, sure, he could have just made the tackle in the flat. Great. Nah, he was like, first I'm going to try to get the ball. I can't. Let me go slam this cat. And did neither. But it was the try that I was like, that's Spoon. He missed a couple tackles today, whatever. I think when guys miss time, no matter who you are, there's going to be some rust. Julian dropped the ball today. I couldn't believe he
Oh, my gosh. These dudes need to go do a drill on catching the football, man. They dropped 2 interceptions on Thursday Night Football. 2. Julian Love with the first one. And who was Kobe got the pick. There was 2 interceptions that game. Was it just the Julian one? I
think it's just the Julian one that was the egregious one.
Because Ernest caught that one. Okay, but yes.
Yeah,
bro,
they were fine today, other than
Do
Julian.
it at your hands. And I know the joke is that's why they play DB. Bro, he threw it right to you. It ain't got you could Michael Dixon would have caught that. And he's a punter.
I asked Julian, I said, so is there like some like jugs machine penalty that you have to do now that you dropped that? He was just like, he just kind of just looked. There was cameras around, so he just kind of looked at the cameras. Like, yeah, that was crazy. He was just like, I don't know how I dropped that. He's like, yeah, that was real rare. But he also had missed time, right? So I think that's what that was. And also, I'm sure that they showed some of the slow-mos of the Marvin Harrison catches on Spoon. Two things are true. Spoon should make those plays, and he knows that. The other thing that's true is that's why Marv was drafted so high. Because he can do that. And that's why Cardinals fans, I'm sure, are so goddamn frustrated that he keep dropping the ball. Because they know he can do that. He's a special player. He is. These Ohio State guys are very special. Him, Olave, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Jax, like all these guys are very good. Marvin's just as good as all of them. And you see it. He's one-on-one with the Seahawks' best cover corner, winning with the game on the line. That's special stuff. So and that'll happen, you know. So yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with Spoon. His knee is like he's dealing with the knee thing. I don't know how bad it is or not, you know. I did my usual, hey man, your knee all good? It's like, yeah. Players always say that. Guys will say yes to me and then be on IR the next day. So I have no idea. But I always just, you know, when guys are hurt, I'm like, oh man, thanks for talking to me. How you doing? Your shoulder good or something? They're always like, yeah, I'll be all right. You know, so who knows? Who knows if they're all right? But I thought Spoon looked like himself in a lot of ways today. I didn't feel like an uncharacteristic Spoon performance. He gets beat sometimes. That happens. But I think when he tried to basically snatch the ball from bro and then like slam him, I was like, yeah, Spoon's back. And then when did they talk about this on the broadcast? When Ernest spun Spoon around when he's about to get a taunting flag. Did you see what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. He was after a play. Spoon's back because I know he's talking. I could hear him on the field. Hey man, he's just yelling and cursing at people. So I know he's back. Yeah. You see that?
Well, Ernest like pulled him away from the.
Yeah,
he was standing over there. I thought they were going to throw a flag.
It was Trey McBride, wasn't it, on that PBU? Was it?
Or yeah, it was a PBU. Yeah. It was.
Yeah,
PBU,
it might have been on
and
Trey.
Spoon was hype.
Yeah, he's back.
I think it was, and I'm so glad I didn't get to talk to Ernest today. But I'm so glad Ernest did that because they easily could have thrown a flag on Spoon. Like that was taunting. That was 1,000. Yeah, I saw DJ Reed get the same flag in 2021, standing over I think AJ Brown. It was. So I've seen that call, and that was taunting. You know, shout out to Ernest.
That would have been a better call than what K9 got for throwing the football at homeboy after he tugged his leg tackling him. I know that was a full of football, but
you can't throw the ball. That's it. Is it no matter what the dude can pull out a gun, shoot you in the leg. You can't throw the ball. You're gonna get a flag for taunting. That's just fair enough. It's not fair, but that's just
no. I'm saying I understand. I understand why. Yes, I get it. Next one, D. Carrillo. What are you seeing with Mafe and Hall? Boye Mafe and Derek Hall. Pressure numbers and game tape look good, but not seeing production. Hard to catch their impact live. Well, I'll tell you this. There's a reason why Kyler was scurrying around the backfield. I'll tell you that. Just from the immediate eye test, obviously I'm going to have to go back and watch the tape, but watching the game live, there were a couple of times that boy was trying to duck and cover, and Boye and Hall were on each end, making it difficult for the young man. So I can't wait to go back and watch it to see if that's accurate. But for a couple of plays, I felt like Boye and D Hall were just coming off the line of scrimmage and just trying to get him to go to the middle and get tackled by Big 99 and Byron. So I thought they did a fabulous job there. Obviously, the sack production hasn't been there, but Mike talked about the running numbers. Well, these dudes is also banging edges, okay? They're taking on pullers. They're allowing the linebackers to clean it up. So while they not be having the crazy stats, they're doing the dirty work, and that's what Mike McDonald's defense is all about, doing the dirty work, working as a unit, as a team to stop the run.
Yeah, I think that we're just in for a day where Boye has like 5 sacks. It's got to, bro. I think D-Hall had a quiet day rushing the passer today. I have to go back and look, but Boye, he might be one of the best quick pressure guys in the league. This guy can get there so fast, and it just doesn't end in a sack. Boye's pressure numbers are further evidence, if you guys needed more, that sacks are a quarterback stat. You can get pressured all you want. Get rid of the ball. Simple. I just watched Monday Night Football. Lamar got sacked 7 times. Watched the tape and said, oh, yeah, looked fine to me. He's bugging. Get rid of the ball. Quarterbacks get rid of the ball when Boye is right there. But I think that his process is good. He's getting to the quarterback very fast, regularly. That's going to lead to sacks. He's probably got the highest pressure to non-sack ratio ever right now. Because he's like one of the best pressure guys in the league, and 0 sacks. It's just unreal. But it's gonna come. It's gonna come. I do think what's tricky sometimes rushing Kyler is you need a lot of discipline. Like you just can't always just come up field or whatever, hit your moves, because he can escape and kill you. So there's a lot of it's different rushing Kyler and Lamar and some of these other guys, Josh Allen. Sometimes you have to have more of a rush plan to contain him, just keep him in there, versus just like let's go get him. Because if you miss, it could be like a 30-yard run, like it was today. Kyler ran for 29 yards. So I think Boye is fine. I think he's really quick, cat-like quickness, really strong, and it's showing up. It's gonna he's gonna get rewarded. Remember I said the football gods punished Mike Macdonald for doing that coward stuff earlier? The football gods are gonna reward Boye. He's gonna have a game. I can probably call it out which game it'll be. Texans. Boye is gonna get to CJ like 3 times. I feel very good about that because he's consistently affecting the quarterback very quickly, and that's gonna get rewarded.
This next one comes from your lackey.
Why do you think they kept playing Rika in the game versus Kendrick, who played well?
Thank you, Mike, for reading the question. How'd that sound, guys? Did Mike nail it? All right. So I think one of the things is he's not better than Reek. He plays nickelback. So you're leaving him outside with a different responsibility. Now, maybe it gets to a point, as Mike alluded earlier in the show, that, maybe they rotate and they send a message to him like, hey, if you're not going to do your job, we do have someone else that can replace you. I don't know if it'll be Kendrick. It could be, but I think he's really good at playing the nickelback spot. I don't know if I don't know what he did with the Rams, if he played outside a lot. Or he did.
He played outside until this year in preseason is when he really moved to nickel. So nickel's fairly new to him, yeah.
And he looks really good. He should have 4 interceptions. So it's not as if he's struggling. And I get why everyone gets upset about Reek, but it's just technique. Reek was in position on both of his penalties. And one of them, I'm thinking, why are you hugging my man? You are in position. When he's looking for the ball, what should you do? You don't need to put your hands on him. And you have this thing called speed that you can't teach. You have a gift. And I think sometimes he just forgets that. Like there's no reason why he should be hugging any receiver on the Cardinals. They're not running by him at any point. They can do a double move, and I am confident that if he doesn't panic and he puts his head down and sprints, he can make up for the play. What was that? I think it was his rookie season. He gets beat by, I don't know what receiver. Well, I think it was against the Lions. He gets beat off the line of scrimmage, and you're thinking he is cooked. There's no way he's going to make up. He puts his head down and sprints, turns around, looks up for the ball, and gets a PBU. He can do that. Now,
I think that's the Chiefs. I think you're thinking of.
Okay, well, the biggest thing is
his rookie year, though. You're right.
You don't see that same mentality anymore. I don't know what's happened from his rookie season till now. Maybe it was injuries. Maybe it was, I don't know. But that Reek needs to find some consistency. And I think on those couple pass interference holding calls that he got on Thursday Night Football, Mike, he would have made those plays if he just had that mentality of his rookie season. Oh, I'm not tripping. I'm the fastest dude on the field. Yeah, you got me, but watch this speed. I can make up for it. I have something that you just can't teach. And I think sometimes he just forgets and panics and gets handsy and you get flagged. So I don't think benching him would be the right move, but there does come a point in time where you can't keep making the same mistake. And if Kendrick can come in and play better, maybe the Seahawks make that move. But right now, I'm not. I just don't know if that would be in the Seahawks' best interest. But only time will tell.
Yeah, I was looking up, so people could see me on YouTube. I was trying to see who number 89 is because without even looking it up, I was like,
Weaver?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, kid from Colorado. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah. I remember him now. I just my reason I was just like, let me double check because when you reminded me he had a couple penalties today, I was like, I bet you neither one of those penalties was him guarding Marvin, and they weren't. They were guarding Michael Wilson and they were guarding Xavier Weaver, and that's notable, I think, because this is we've talked about the Reek thing a lot on the show for good reasons. But I do think, and I'll reiterate, the tricky part is when it's the other team's best dude, he be locked. He do. He had a really good Marvin caught it, but he was a really good play on a back shoulder ball today. Like it had to be a perfect throw and catch. And that's because it was Marv. I do think his stuff against the best dudes on the team is really solid. And then you get stuff like the week one Jank Todges or whatever, the Pearsall. Now Pearsall's their best dude now, but he's not when Ayuk comes back. So it's like, I do feel like the tricky thing is he can strap up the other team's best guys. And it's hard to sit that down. It is as a coach. Imagine that. He's just over there like, hey, man, we know if we put they know if they put him on Ibuka or Godwin or whoever, he's going to make some plays next week. And they put him on Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., Nico Collins in the next few weeks. They know Reek's going to do his thing. The tricky part is like, is he going to give up a catch to Christian Kirk? Or who's on the Texans, or whoever the third receiver is on the Jags, like that stuff. I don't really know what to do about that, because if I know I can trust you on the other team's best guys, well, damn, I'm gonna play you. But again, I don't think that. And Reek's, anytime I've talked to Reek about this, he's kind of just, I got to be better, blah blah blah. Typical stuff that makes sense to say. But I really don't think you guys got to worry much about this, because as fed up as you guys are, Mike Macdonald seems to be getting there. Like it's not going to be the leash seems to be shorter. It doesn't seem like there's going to be much of Reek's spot is guaranteed. Not with all these DBs they got playing well.
That's fair. This next one is from Kimwell Santana. Should we feel angry that we almost gave it away, or happy that we won?
Let me shout out to Kimwell. Let me go to his Instagram real fast. It's his birthday today. I want to say
yesterday.
It was yesterday. Happy birthday, my boy. Appreciate the question too. Hope you had a good day. The answer is yes. I was thinking that the whole game today. I was like, not the whole game, but I think midway through the third, or at least when they kicked to go up 20-6, I was like, they should be up 36. I was like, they're letting these guys hang around, and I was like, I don't like it. They should be. They had them on yardage, third down efficiency. They were stopping the run. They were sacking the quarterback. They turned Kyler over twice. I was just like, one of them, Kobe just gave right back. But it was weird. Somebody asked Mike Macdonald, and I kind of get it. It was like, oh, maybe Kobe was giving himself up. I didn't get a chance to talk to Kobe. I'm just like, yeah, hold on to the ball, no matter what. I mean, maybe he was giving himself up. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. Hold on to the ball.
He wasn't
talk
paying attention, and Tyree smoked him. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, just hold on to the ball, and there's no discussion whether you're giving yourself up or getting tackled. Just hold on to it. It's fine. So, yeah, that was that. But I do think that the Seahawks should feel like when they watch this tape and they get home, they're gonna be like, we should have blown them out. That was really the thought. I was telling people coming into this game, I was like, the only reason this game is not going to be 27-7 will be if the Seahawks can't find explosive passes because the Cardinals have competent safeties. That's it. Otherwise, they should have won by 20. And damn it, the score should have been 27-6. It really should have. They're much better than these guys, I think. So, yeah, I think it's fair to feel both emotions. It's great the Seahawks win. If you're a Seahawks fan, you're like, that's great. You also should feel like we should have put the belt to butt today. And that's fair too. They should have. They should have won that game. I would say, 27-6. Maybe the Cardinals score something at the end that doesn't matter. 27-13 at best. That should not have come down to a Jason Myers field goal at all. It's fun that it did. Good for Sam, good for Jackson, those guys to see their late game execution come to life. That's cool. But yeah, from a fan view, if you guys are like, Mike, Chris, we should have won by 20. Yeah, you should have. Absolutely should have. They were much better. They were just as much, special teams aside, they were just as dominant on offense and defense, relatively speaking. I felt today as they were against the Saints. Just offense and defense. Take special teams out of it. And the score was closer. It shouldn't have been. It should have been a 20-point win.
Well, Mike, this last one comes from John. How's downtown Seattle going to look next Sunday when the Hawks host the Bucks and the Mariners are hosting Game 2 of the ALDS?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Mariners. Seattle's looking like a real cool sports town right now. Seahawks rolling, Mariners rolling. Shout out to them. It's going to be a madhouse. I can't wait to be down there. It's going to be really cool. Maybe I might even get Chris to watch some baseball, some playoff baseball.
Not
No,
happening.
not even playoff baseball, huh? No, okay. All right, you
NBA
guys. See if
season's
we
around
can
the corner.
see if we can get Chris to watch some baseball. We'll see what we got to do. Is brainstorm some ideas. The one thing I will say though, and I think I put this on Instagram too, and I might have mentioned it when we did the hype. I think it is very weird that in baseball they bring out the goggles and champagne for everything.
We made the playoffs. Goggles.
We
and
made the
champagne.
playoffs. Let's get drunk, like in the clubhouse. We clinched the division. Let's get drunk again in the clubhouse. Not even to go to the club. We didn't even go to stadium. We was just like, nah, let's go get drunk right here with the goggles on in front of everybody. And then they probably got drunk again today when they clinched the 2 seed, I believe. My homie just texted me that they did. So I think that's weird that you just get hammered when you have a game the next day. You also should only drink champagne if you get to the big game, which whatever it is, World Series, NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, like get to the thing. So like win your conference or you win the whole thing. That's it. This should be a 2 champagne max. Y'all doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin beers off of making the playoffs? What are we doing here? Just made the playoffs 3 years ago. It's not even like you're breaking the drought. It's so weird. Good for the Mariners, but that's Mike's one baseball take for the show. Is like, you should not be drinking champagne. You should not be binge drinking champagne for making the playoffs. That is ridiculous. Act like you've been there before, because you have just a few years ago.
Well, before we wrap it, we do have to get back to nicknames for the D-line. The 3 fat men specifically. So I got a DM from Pratik, and he says, you asked for some D-line names. My nomination, the Fat Cat Crew, FCC. Their
Oh my
motto,
God.
I know that comes off a little
Fat
wild.
Cat Crew is crazy.
Their motto, we can do it easy or we can do it the hard way.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's
Shout out Pratik.
that is one. You got any more? I got a couple. Bookmarked.
Shoot. I'll go with the one that we got from on the voicemail, Emerald City Crash, and now I'll let you go
Okay.
ahead with your other ones.
Okay. We were tagged in this too from Mr. Kenji. We got Rain City Wrecking Crew.
That's what it was. Okay.
I like that. I like Rain City Wrecking Crew. David Crockett says Green Lantern Corps. Or Corps, I'm sorry, because they imposed their will. I like that. We got a little Green Lantern GIF there. Is it GIF? GIF? Whatever. Mike B063. Great Wall of Mall. Love that. Love that. I think we can honestly maybe even get rid of the great. The Wall of Mall. Maybe because maybe we need the great part. It's a little long, but I like that. But keep them coming. These guys are still playing well. I think Leonard had a sack and a half today. I don't know if we mentioned that, but yeah, I like Rain City Wrecking Crew is good too. That might be that. Shout out to Mr. Kenji. That might work. I have to go with that. That's the leader in the clubhouse right now. Another baseball thing. But yeah, if you guys got more, let us know. Leo J. Reed Murph, give us some nicknames. We'll read them on the show.
Yeah, do you guys want a baseball podcast from Mike and I? That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
It's just,
Mariners man to man. No, that wouldn't work.
you would have to watch baseball.
I could read Cliff Notes.
No. If we're gonna do a pod, you'd have to watch it. But it's okay. It's 1 a.m. Let's. We got any more questions?
Nah, we appreciate all the love and support, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to leave a review on Apple, Spotify. Follow us on TikTok at Seahawks Man to Man and Instagram Seahawks Man to Man. Mike, I know you got a book out. I forget the title. You wanna share that with the people?
I actually don't have a book on me right now, but Seahawks or not Seahawks Man to Man. Look at me. I was about to outro the show. The franchise Seattle Seahawks: A Curated History of the Legion of Boom Era, available wherever books are sold. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever, local bookstore. You can buy them from me at the home games as well. Let's see, where else? Yeah, leave a review. I got to mention that too. If you buy online, leave a review. That's I've been told by the publisher that's good. So do that for me. That helps. So So next time we're gonna do one big thing. Will be our next. Oh yeah, we'll preview the Bucks game. I'll call some people who cover the Bucks. We'll do that next week. Other than that, thank you guys for tapping into the show. Like, subscribe, review, press all the good buttons. Enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you guys next week.